Welcome back to GEISELSBERG for episode 20 with me, MrSealyp. It's 7 minutes past 7 in the morning. It's a little bit cloudy this morning. I moved all the machinery last night. I exercised the horses, and I did a bit of stuff off screen, so moving about and things like that. I finished off all the baling. I got the bales all off the field, our multi-field up here. And right, so this is where we stand. Finishing off a couple of baling contracts. The contract for Tyler for 50 rye bales, we'd already delivered 40, so that's the 10. That's his 10 to make up his 50 rye bales. For AH13 Stew, he wanted 100 straw bales. We already delivered 50. This is the other 50. 24 in there, 24 in there, and 2 there. So that's his 50. They're going to have to be moved, shipped, sent off. This field's going to need liming across the middle section, because this originally was 3 fields. If you're new to this, if you're new to the channel, new to the area, you don't quite know what's happening maybe, I would always suggest go back and start from the beginning, watch the Let's Play, because it will make more sense. But yeah, this was 3 fields. The middle field needs liming, so the middle section, the middle third of this is going to need some lime, which we'll have to do, and it's going to need some fertiliser before I do whatever I'm going to do on it, and I haven't decided quite what to do yet. But I was just finishing off stacking these neatly. What I also need to do now is take you over to the pig farm, because the pig food area is going to be a mess. It's going to need cleaning. We are kind of on course. We need another delivery of our pig food from CWT. We did a contract a little while back, and the payment for the contract was 300,000 litres of pig food. We've had 180,000 litres so far, so we can collect some more when we want it. I think we're okay for the time being, but we will get some in a little while. The Sintrack is just there with the IT runner container on the back of it. The reason for that being, I baled what I needed to complete those 2 baling contracts. The rest of the straw swaths I collected using the, I get it wrong every single time, the little milling machine that goes in the front, kind of like the straw blower, snow blower, sorry, kind of like that. So I collected the rest as loose and brought it over here to the pig farm for bedding, because I was running pretty low. The last time I needed some, I went and got a couple of bales from down at the main farm, so I thought I'd put some loose. And when I say put some loose, I've gone a bit overboard here. I put some in here, which is where I kind of put some last time, but it doesn't take a huge amount in there. So when that started spilling out the front, I thought, okay, well, I'll bring some more over, because I might as well take it all off the field and use it. So I thought I'd put it in here. Yeah, we kind of went a little bit mad. I was just going to put it out here. I know we're not running seasons yet, and it doesn't make any difference technically, but I thought if it pours in rain and we've got all this loose straw, it's going to make a right mess of it. So there we go. There's a load of straw off of that field as well. Just so everyone knows where things are, what's happening. If I suddenly do an episode where I come over here and I collect some straw, people say, hang on a minute, where'd that massive pile of straw come from? What I am going to do is the elephant loader. I keep saying for the front of this, I'm just not using it because I've got a telehandler and I've got the Massey Ferguson 356 loader here. I'm not using it, and it's worth a bit of money. Oh yeah, money's gone up, 445,000. We were on 200 something or other. We have been paid for the 250,000 litres of silage that we delivered yesterday for Rod. That's going to be an ongoing contract. At any point, if I've got silage I can deliver it. If I've got chaff, I can deliver it. If I've got grass, I can deliver it. He'll take whatever, because he's supplying 3 BGAs, so he's quite happy with whatever I can give, whenever I can give it. Actually, I'll put the lights on because it's still a little bit murky this morning. So we've got some options now on purchasing vehicles, upgrading. You know, I definitely want to get the Scaraflex no matter what. So we've got a few options here. I think I might just take this. Yes, I'm going to get rid of the elephant loader. Whatever happens, I'm getting rid of that. But I'm going to bring it up to the sell point and sell it, because I'll get a little bit more money. What we're going to do now is head over to field 1. Now, the other great thing is, because we've got paid, we've got enough money to pay out for the lease of something that we probably normally wouldn't do. Today's episode, I did mention yesterday, is going to be wheat and beet. The wheat, I'll get that running and I'll leave a worker to crack on with that, because we've just done a rye harvest. The wheat's not going to be a huge amount different, but that's going to be the second part to the vegan contract. We did the first part yesterday, 60,000 litres of vegan rye, which is gone. We did alright from that. Now, because we're using field 1, this field doesn't belong to us. It belongs to Jeremy, Ben, Elise and their grandfather. And we're running it for them because the grandfather's not well and Jeremy hasn't got the time to do it. But we do have to pay them a chunk or a percentage of whatever we make off this field. So whilst we are going to make some money on the vegan contract, we are going to have to pay him for some of that, you know, which is fair enough because it's not our field. We don't own it, we're just using it. So it's kind of like a leasing fee. That was the arrangement we made. Anyway, and the field below that, field 2, has got triticale in, which will be, again, I might do it off screen, I'm not too sure. Haven't quite decided yet, but that's an ongoing contract I've got for triticale. So, so what I'm saying was, because we've got the money to do it, I've got the sugar beet down on field 45 by the main farm, and that's the contract for Mr. Massey, and that's I think I mentioned it before. Mr. Massey makes rock, like seaside rock. That, you know, I don't know if Americans. I know you have saltwater taffy and things like that. I don't know. Do you have like rock, like a hard stick of, you know? I always just call it seaside rock. He works for a company that makes it, and iso malt is a. Was it a sugar substitute? Wasn't it? Yeah. And they're going to try and produce some rock using that. And could I provide them with sugar beet to do that? Which I said absolutely no problem at all. I was going to lease one of the small sugar beet harvesters because we just didn't have the money to do it. But now we have. I think we might get one of the larger ones. We'll just lease one and use it. We'll get the biggest header we can, and we can just knock that field out. Getting it there might be a little bit tricky. And I don't know whether to go for a roper or a holmer. Whether to go for a Pterodos T5. I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at our options, shall we? So, beet technology. We can go for a roper panther. The T440 is quite big, as is the Tiger XL. But they've got bigger. They've got bigger tanks. So potentially, I haven't used either of these. I saw these. I mean, if you watched any of my Agrotechnica vlogs, I saw these at Agrotechnica, and they are huge, just unbelievably big. I could just dump on the ground, then come and collect later. I've never used either of these, but that just seems like double handing the work. If I've got the machinery there, I might as well just pick it up and collect it. Top right hand corner, my slot count's in the red. That's not good. I'm getting pretty close. I might have to start selling stuff. I don't know about buying things. That's a bit worrying, isn't it? The Panther's going to be easier to manoeuvre about with a capacity of 30,000 litres. These are 45 and 43. I didn't realise the Tiger XL was less. Next thing to do then is going to be look at the headers for these. Let's look at the Beat Technology headers. That one's a 4 metre. Where's the 5.4? I'm going to go with the Roper. It's a bigger header. I'll speak to the boss, we'll probably lease that one, but I need to get all this stuff sorted out. The horses also need they need water. I exercised them last night, so they're fine. They're going to exercise today. If you didn't see the episode yesterday, I bought the Cressoni header, haven't had any problems with it yet. I love this bit of kit, I think it's just fantastic. Yes, it's not a massive header, I've gone for the bigger of the three, but if you're running big fields with big machinery, you're not going to want a header like this. But if you're running an average size farm, or you're running small harvesters and you want to get a slightly larger header, but don't want the hassle of a header trailer, this is the way to go. So, this is our wheat, unfolding the harvester every single time I forget. There we go, right. Let's get cracking. Now we're going to get a load of straw off this as well. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this, whether to collect it loose. I might well do, because I do have some contracts for TMR. Now I make my TMR with straw. I do mine a mix of 1 part straw, 1 part silage, 2 parts hay. A lot of people don't bother with the straw, they just go with silage and hay. I personally feel that, and this is a personal opinion, I personally feel that hay is, say, worth more. It takes more to produce because you've got to cut the grass, then ted it, then collect it, whereas this is technically, if I'm doing a field anyway of a crop, this is technically a byproduct. So I kind of pad out my TMR with straw simply to make my hay go further. In all honesty, my hay and silage will go further and I can make more TMR. That's just a personal preference. A lot of people can't be bothered, they'd just rather not, because I suppose you then got all the, you've got to collect all this and bring it in and all that kind of thing. But again, like I say, that's a personal choice. What I'm going to do now is run a couple of strips around the outside, let the worker get cracking on this. We'll sort out the sugar beet harvester and we'll get down to field 45 and let's get this sugar beet in. And that'll be some more contracts ticked off. That'll be 2 bale contracts that hopefully by the end of this episode we can get this vegan contract wrapped up, and possibly the sugar beet one. So maybe 4 contracts. That's the theory. I really hope at some point on the console we get a drone. I just think for doing kind of cinematic filming of what's going on, I think a drone would just be awesome. And I know before everyone starts going, we can't script. No, I know. Anyway, see you in a minute. I've just brought the fence back down to the main farm because I need to water the horses. Sounds like I'm watering plants, doesn't it? That's what's down into here. I also want to check the bunker silo that we did. See how that's going fermenting wise. Let's just open that up. Oh, 100%. We'll leave that covered for the time being. We don't need that just yet. There's... Actually, you know what, I will, because I want to... I can't remember how much it was. Yeah, 359,619 litres. So potentially that can go to Rod as well, or we can use that for TMR. We have still got 160,000 odd litres up at the biogas plant, so that's all good. What else do I need to check? Let's turn that off. chickens on the way past. Then I need to grab the water thing to feed the horses. To water the horses, not feed them. This is tight. Can I get around here? Probably not in one. Let's back it up. This will probably need cleaning again, actually, the feed area. We'll get down here with the telehandler. That's not too bad, actually. As far as egg boxes go, how are we looking? Yeah, they're filling up, albeit kind of randomly. Although that back pallet doesn't seem to want to know. We'll see how the others go. I might need to adjust the trailer a little bit, but they are filling up. Or I'll move the pallet. Yeah, it might just not be the trigger properly, but that's not a problem. So chickens are doing fine. They were for Jason, weren't they? I'm sure they were for Jason. I've got so many. Yeah, looking after Jason's chickens. I'm just looking down my list. Just in, if anyone's interested in the slightest, we're up to so far 34 subscriber contracts. I've got 3 or 4 that are ongoing. Horses and pigs and stuff, Farmer Buttons, Farmer Pierce, Big Papa C. The vegan contract we're almost finished on, that'll be done. Dozer John, lumber, that's an ongoing one. I can provide him with lumber whenever I want. The one for Rod now, silage, that can be whenever I want. This one for Jason, looking after his chickens, that's going to be ongoing. But yeah, 34. I didn't realise we'd done that many. We have still got more to go. I am getting contracts in all the time from people, and I really do appreciate it. Absolutely fantastic. I do get to a point where I have to kind of pick and choose which ones are going to fit the narrative, fit the storyline, where I'm going with the farm, where Papa wants to go with, what we're doing as a farm. And I have said it before. If you watch the videos, go back and watch. Watch what we're doing. Watch how I'm doing it, because to be fair, I've done loads of bales, loads of baling contracts. I've got a load of hay bales to do. I haven't done hay bales yet. I did loose hay, but I haven't done hay bales yet. But if you send me another baling contract, the likelihood is I'm not going to do it, simply because we've done a load already. So it's about looking at contracts that can be done for things that I haven't really tackled yet on this farm. So yeah, I mean, I don't, I'll do what I can. And I'll do as many as I can, but if I don't do yours, I apologise. It is just the way it is. Let's go to the water thing, fill this up. Standpipe's just there. That was one I put in. I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. It's one of my favourite mods. Brilliant bit of kit. Fantastic little mod. Cheap as chips. Place it. It's got such a small little footprint that you can pretty much put it anywhere. And you find now on FS19 as well, in whatever area you farm in, depending on the map. Probably have to go into this. I did try and do it from outside, but did it let me last time? Let's see. Yeah, a lot of map makers aren't putting triggers in for water and stuff like that, because there are so many mods and things available now. Can the trigger come up? No. I'm sure I did that last time and realised I had to go in. It's just is what it is. But just so you know, I am sorting the horses out. They are being fed. They are being watered. The great thing with the horses is, other than the exercise they need, they really are pretty self-sufficient once you've got stuff in. It lasts quite a long time. Their feed area really doesn't get messy. It's pretty good. There we go. Was that it? I'm sure I probably said that last time as well. I'll do the other ones, and then we'll get... you can just see the sugar beet harvester just over there in the background. Too big, do you think? I'm driving that in from the main store down through that narrow winding road. I should have come cross country really with it. It was tight, but No road signs were harmed during the making of this video. I will just put that out there right now. Okay, so I do have the smaller auger, the auger trailer, but that's only 23,000 litres. But unfortunately, until the wheat harvest is finished up on field 1, I haven't got another trailer to unload the sugar beet. I can get it started, I guess, but it's going to mean a bit of to-in and fro-in, because the other problem I've got is I've got nowhere to store the sugar beet, have I? Pretty sure the main silo doesn't take it, but let's just check. I drove straight through with the trailer, so it's just through there. What we'll do, we'll go through and grab it. Just lift it in here. Sure it doesn't, because if it does we can store it in here for the time being, but I don't think it does. No. Does the main crop types, does rye, triticale. I've got some triticale. All the rye's gone, we'll do some wheat. Okay. I suppose we could just harvest it, dump it by the side. It would give us a chance to use the old Terra Felis or the Roper Mouse, wouldn't it? I haven't used those before. You know what? I'm just going to say, yeah, let's just do it. Let's harvest it, dump it by the side. I don't know why I'm bringing this trailer with me now. Just because I've kind of got it attached. Never mind. Right, we'll go over there and let's get on with the sugar beet, shall we? Yeah, let's put a massive, big old pile of sugar beet and we can collect it later on. Why not? Yeah, I can dump it all here, can't I? A huge sugar beet pile. Let's get this out of the way then. Okay, like I say, this probably is way too big for this map, but I like it. That's I suppose when you think, right, when I look about where my head height is, this is, I kept saying when I was going around Agritechnica, you really don't kind of get an idea of the scale. And it's difficult on game, because you come up like that and you think, okay, yeah, my eye line's about the same height as the tyre, so realistically then, these are huge. But it's only when you've got the kind of real perspective of, you know, looking up at, you know, one of these things, you really get the idea of, oh man, just colossal bits of kit. I got the header trailer simply because the header's 5.4 metres wide and I knew I would not get through the town, absolutely would not get through the town without without a header trailer on. Just need to try and get through without damaging the crop. Now I need 150,000 litres off this for Mr. Massey. So what I'm going to do, try to don't damage the corn crop behind me, I'm going to go round down to the bottom, then I'm going to across the far side so we can unload that side first onto the grass. Yeah, I think we'll. Let's do that. Yeah, I've just bent that back a little bit, I haven't driven over it yet. Haven't damaged anyone's crops, I promise. Oh, of course, but of course. Let's get some lights on. I always love using these. Nice big wide header as well. Sugar beet yield's very high normally, so I mean, I'm going to have to keep a track on this. This takes 45,000 litres, so technically, just over 3 full loads and we've hit the contract. It's a fair sized field of sugar beet, in all honesty. I'm hoping we don't have a problem. I think we should be able to hit it, no worries. But you can never be certain. So fingers crossed. I do have a contract for another contract for sugar beet. Well, one of them is the sugar beet and potatoes, but if I can hit the sugar beet portion of it, that'd be pretty cool. All I can say is it's good that I get prompt payments from customers, because it means then that we do have the ability to lease. Now, this contract pays very well. It's £1 per litre, so if I do 150,000 litres, it's 150 grand. If I do more than that, potentially he could take more off me, if he's happy to take more off me. That's assuming, of course, we get enough. I could have used the smaller tow behind harvesters. It would have taken forever, wouldn't it? Let's be honest. It's always very difficult with sugar beet and potatoes. You kind of underestimate the field size and you think, oh, I'm going to need a bigger field, I'll put more in, I'll do them on a bigger field. Then when you come to harvest, you suddenly think, whoa, I've done way too many. I've done that quite a few times. Just looking at how this is going up, yeah, I could well have done the same thing again, but it doesn't matter. It's all money in the bank. Just one more. Let's get around there a bit. I'll tell you what, we're not far off finishing that week contract either on field 1. It is flying through that. The field's not going to be finished, but we're nearly there for 40,000 litres, I think. And then I'll just carry on and finish it off as well, because again with that, oh, that was the other thing as well. Off of the multi-field yesterday, the rye that I had left, I completed the contract, 60,000 litres, and we still had some left on the field. What we had left on the field was about 17,000 litres. The company took all of that as well, so there wasn't enough to fulfil another contract. So it just made sense that they just took all of it. It wasn't too much over and above. Can I backclaim that gate there without causing too much trouble, without hitting fence posts? Just clip over the manure pile a little bit. If I hit a fence post? No, just hitting the manure pile. It's lucky these have got big old flotation tyres on it, otherwise I'd be in real trouble here. There we go. Drop that back down. Let's go again. Did that just come up saying that I had a full grain tank again, or was that a nearly full grain tank? Hopefully my workers will deal with it. They're a sensible bunch, I think. At least if I put this pile onto the grass rather than on the field, if I do want to repurpose the field before I get a chance to collect the sugar beet, then it won't be too much of an issue. I think I'm going to hit this no problem, aren't I? Just looking, we're up to 34,000 litres. Only done a couple of strips, potentially. Okay, first full load. Just got a radio call over from field 1. They are 1,000 litres short of fulfilling the contract in the trailer. The harvester is still going, so we've hit the contract. No problem whatsoever. What I'm going to do is swing this round. I've never done this before. Oh, hang on, I should say that. Did I do it on the west coast? Maybe. Let's start overloading. Sugar beet pile. And it will give me a chance to use a piece of machinery I've never used before. Other than I think when it first came out, I think I might have done a mod review, but... So that's what 45,000 litres looks like on the floor. So what I'm going to do now is probably set a worker off on this for a little bit. Actually, what I might do is stick a couple of strips in that end. Put the pipe in. That way it's got room to turn round. What I don't often do is things like crab steer. I don't often use it. And I should really. Hang on, that's the wrong way. That's better, isn't it? That swings the back away from where I'm going to be. That's more like it. Yeah, we go. I'm not used to it, see? Oh, that's fixed the cab in place as well. Okie dokie. Whoa, that's weird. Oh, it's going to take some getting used to. I was just thinking about, so I don't go over anything, you know? But I think I am. That's weird. Feels peculiar. Yep, farm door thinks it's peculiar as well. Yeah, so that way you don't get your tyres going over crop that you're going on. That's another thing I've never really used. I don't normally bother with it, but it kind of... I can understand totally why it's used. So that's not something I've actually used myself. Let's raise that up. We'll whiz back down. Mr. Krabs. How weird, that just feels so peculiar. Okay. Sorry, I'm just enjoying myself too much. Shouldn't be doing that. Playing Farming Simulator. What am I playing at? Having fun? Good grief, whatever next. Oh, I've really made a mess out of it. Okay, let's do that. Let's get it into position first, and then we can put it on crab again. Like that. There we go. That's more like it. Just thinking getting 3 strips in, and then it's got room to turn. I always prefer it on, rather than just all-wheel steer, I always put it on turn steer, especially when you're using the bigger ones of these, because you just got just a much better turning circle on turn steer. Right. Same off. I think I might have gone at a slight angle last time, so off it goes. And I need to go and sort out the rest of this week. Oh, it feels weird leaving it on the floor. Right, I've got to go. So, as I said, 39,068 litres in the tank. We need 40,000 to complete the contract. We're just about to do that because the harvester is full. We've got all of that left to do. I say all of that, it's not going to be a huge amount. We've actually, these 2 fields have worked out almost perfectly. We haven't gone much over what we needed, but more importantly, we didn't come up short, which is always the best place to be. I know when I was on Marwell Manor we had a few contracts where we came up short, but only by little bits. There we go, we've gone past it, which is fantastic. This will go off to land handle, and we'll get 50% on top of whatever we get, and then once we've finished all of it, we'll take all of it there. That'll all go towards the vegan contract, whatever we get on top now, and then we'll pay a bit to Jeremy for use of the land. Actually, you know what I should do is probably get that going again. Interestingly, I keep checking. Your watch is going to need it now, isn't it? Now look, that Cressoni header hasn't needed any repair yet. I thought we would have broken something on there by now. As far as the harvester itself goes, nope, all good. I mean, it probably does need some repair work, but just as it stands, not to the point where it's damaged beyond use. That said, a bit of a wash and brush up wouldn't hurt too much, would it? Let's get this out of the way so it doesn't say blocked by an object. We'll get this down to land handle and sold, or at least shipped. That's better. Change the steering on there to front wheel steer only, that way we don't get this horrible sudden, have a bit of a tank slapper and off it goes. That's not too bad then. So with this being delivered, that's the vegan contract done, complete. Anything over and above is all bonus, that's all, you know, happy days type stuff. The 2 bale contracts I showed you at the very start, they're both complete for AH13 Stew and for Tyler, and then hopefully we will be able to finish off the contract for Mr. Massey as well. So that's 3 down, 1 to go. Okay, 21,000. Add another 10.5 on top of that for the 50% on bonus on top. 30,500. And then, like I say, whatever else we get off that field, again, that's all just happy days. Where do we get around there? There we go. Right, I think either the sugar beet harvester or the wheat harvester is full, because I just had a message come up saying full. Get this off, and let's go and check on whichever one it is that needs sorting out. Helper ears completed their task. That's going to be the wheat field, because I think it's got to the top end and it hasn't done the little triangle, the triangle bit of the field. Right, okay, I'm going to go and sort those out. I will see you momentarily. Load number 2. This will take us to 90 grand. 90 grand? Oh yeah, 90,000. 90 grand. 90,000 litres. How much of the field have we done? Yeah, we're going to nail 150,000. No problem whatsoever. Fantastic. Let's go and do this bit in mist. The other half's just got a full grain tank. No problem with multitasking. I'm thinking by the time we get all this cleared, what I'm going to do is have one pile will be the 150,000, which is kind of what we actually need to fulfill the contract. I'll do a second pile of whatever's left off this field, and then that way I can talk to Mr. Massey and we can decide whether he wants to take it all, and if he does, fantastic. If not, then his is separate, and then we can sort out where the rest goes. But I'm just curious to see what 150,000 litres of sugar beet looks like as well. So I just put this other strip in because it became quite apparent that it turned round early and left a little bit. Now I don't know if that's because it didn't have enough room to turn around properly. It might well do it again anyway, I don't know, but I just thought I'd stick another strip in. The other end, oh, we haven't got to the other end yet, that's why. Next strip we probably will make it all the way to the other end. I've got a funny feeling it's going to fill up even quicker then, because well, it's not going to fill up any quicker, but yeah, it'll fill up at exactly the same rate. It always fills up, you know what I mean? It's they're longer strips is basically what I was trying to say, albeit very poorly. Did it just need the extra room, or what's it going to do? Nope, still going to back over the crop. Okie dokie. So it's fascinating to see what these workers do, because I'm really not entirely sure at the moment. If that leaves a gap again, I'm going to... I just put in that strip on purpose to give you extra room. Oh, bit of wheel slip there. Where are you going? Come on, come on, get it right, get it right, get it right. Yeah, we go, come on. And we're off. Load number 3. This will put us at 135,000 if I'm not mistaken. So 15,000 more, and that'll be the contract sorted. And I think I've started going over the other side just to give myself a rectangle so the worker, because that top section workers don't like it because it goes at a bit of an angle. So just go a little bit closer. Yeah, so I've tied up that bit, and I've got a little bit to do over that side. 15,000 more, and on this pile. So what I'll probably do is stop at 15,000, unload onto here, and then we'll do the next pile will be all separate. Actually, turn off the warning beacons. This thing is making light work of it, but I want to make sure. Now we're at 0.8 hours. I'm worried that we're going to knock over into an extra hour, in which case we're going to get clobbered for fees again, aren't we? Mind you, we're making a good bit of money on this one actually, so we can afford to take a bit of a hit. That's not too much of a problem. Fairly agile for such a big machine as well, aren't they? If you think about it. Okay, so this is it, 15,170. That's it for Mr. Massey's contract. That's fulfilled. Like I say, we're just not sure what we're going to do with the rest. I will now see you when the rest of the field is cleared and we've got a second pile. I'll keep a tally of how much we get on that as well. Is that going to do some more? It might do. Yeah, we'll keep a tally so we know exactly how much we've got off the field in total. Pleased with that. Okay, pipe in. Oh, pipe in. There we go. As you're told. Thank you. I've just realised I've come at this from two ends of the same strip. Got carried away. Never mind. The silly thing with this now is going to be that when this contract's complete and we get paid for it, we're going to be sitting on a nice chunk of money. Unfortunately, what's the best way of putting it? Our space for vehicles is limited. Not sure what we're going to do. Okay, we'll have a think. Okay, we are packed up, we are loaded, the field is clear, we've done alright. That pile is the 150,000 litres. When I said earlier on that's the contract complete, obviously it's not complete, that's now got to be loaded up and dispatched, sent off, we'll sort that out, but we've got another 84,000 litres I think it was, 84,985 litres. Giving us a total of 234,988 litres off this field, which is wonderful. Up on field 1, the wheat is now all cleared. I've started the harvester off from the triticale, but as far as the wheat goes, we got another 22,000 litres, so we had a full load of 45,000 litres, which fulfilled the rest of the Viking contract, plus another 22. That's going to be taken to land handled to be shipped, and we'll get paid for that as well. So I'm quite happy with today. We've got, well, say today, so far it's only 5 to 10. We've got loads more to do. We've got to clear all this up as well. But for this episode, let's just say, we've got 3 contracts done, 1 mostly done, that just needs to be, like I say, loaded up and sent off. Horses are exercised, that's good. Everything's looking fantastic. So, with that, we have come to the end of another episode. Sugar beeting done. I've got to work out if I can get this back up to the store through the little village without knocking any road signs over. That's always a challenge. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.